Welcome back, guys. Tactical AV. When it comes to home theater hobbyists, just about everyone is aware of the fact that there are AVRs that exist, as well as separate components. But stepping back years ago, where even 7-channel receivers were the newest technology available, the AV receivers that have existed, well, have just gotten bigger and bigger over the years, until they actually started getting smaller. And by smaller, I also mean lighter. But the downside to the smaller AV receivers is generally a smaller power supply and, well, less amplification or power. And, well, power essentially becomes important when dealing with multiple speakers in a large or dedicated home theater scenario. And with now 9, 11, and even 13 channels amplification on an AV receiver, well, they tend to be even getting smaller than their old-school 7-channel counterparts even. Nonetheless, there's always been several advantages one gains when using, well, separate components. But to briefly summarize some of the advantages that one does gain when using separate components, well, it generally means that you have a larger separate power supply dedicated to the surround processing and decoding, plus an endless amount of power amplifiers one is capable of choosing when using separate components. In addition, when an AV receiver generally fails, well, it's usually toast altogether. And, well, not to mention one of the largest factors as well, audio fidelity and clarity when using separate preamp processors and power amplifiers. But nonetheless, today I bring you the Emotiva BasX MC-700 preamp processor. Let's get this guy unboxed and check him out. But with an arrival time of just 2 days, came direct from Emotiva in Tennessee. In fact, anything from Emotiva I've ever ordered has come, well, in 2 days. But enough talk, let's get this thing unboxed finally. A 7.1 4K HDR video and audio processor. Anything I've ever ordered from Emotiva, generally, if not always, comes in 2 separate Emotiva factory boxes. Alright, so taking a look at what we actually get inside of the box is always well packed from Emotiva. Looks like we've got the instruction manual and bag, and set that aside. And then below that appears to be the remote. We'll take a look at this later. Now, as well as with the double-boxed factory from Emotiva, just about everything I've ordered has also come with these fabric bags covering. This looks like a box of accessories and an additional box of accessories. Now let's go ahead and remove the unit. Emotiva has always been known for providing a dry pack. Make that 2 packs. And behind the curtain we have the MC-700. So taking a closer look at what the remote looks like. Double packaged, well protected, glossy finish to the remote. Looks nice. Included in the first accessory box, it looks like we've actually got a high-quality, decent, removable IEC power supply cord. But Emotiva has been generally well known for their higher quality, unique 3-pole power supply cords. And behind door number 2, it looks like we've got the batteries for our remote. Looks like a microphone for calibrating possibly, and, well, possibly 12-volt triggers. A simple look at what's all exactly involved with the MC-700. Emotiva calls the MC-700 a high-performance surround sound processor that supports 4K Ultra HD HDR video and all the current 5.1 and 7.1 channel surround sound formats. Now, as far as video processing is concerned, This preamp includes 6 4K HDMI video inputs, including 3 of them that support the 4K Ultra HD HDR video with HDMI 2.0 and High Definition Copy Protection 2.2, as well as multiple analog and digital audio inputs for other sources. But Emotiva promises us fast, clean switching for both HD and 4K Ultra HD HDR video, as well as superb sound quality and a wide selection of advanced features, including the latest generation EmoQ automatic room correction and loudspeaker equalization system. And paired with decent power amplifiers, a subwoofer, and matching speakers, the MC-700 promises the sort of sound quality and control you never thought possible at anywhere near its modest price. So join me, and let's take this guy down to the home theater and, take a closer look. The MC-700 is a unit virtually identical to the PT-100 from Emotiva, the music preamp. Designed for high-fidelity 2-channel audio playback, but this time were designed for home theater use, as well as high-quality 2-channel playback. So when setting up the MC-700, I've noticed that Emotiva always provides a very hefty 18-gauge removable IEC power supply, actually with a really nice termination on the end of this guy. And after plugging the MC-700 in, with a simple flip of a switch on the back of the unit, and, as with all of the BasX components, provide the orange halo on the power ring indicating standby mode, and, lighting up blue indicating power on. So, similar to the PT-100 stereo preamp, the MC-700 also includes a front 3.5mm headphone jack for the use of headphones. But in addition to the VFD display, volume knob, and, input selectors on the PT-100, the MC-700 also includes an up and down with a bit more intuitive, complex, but easy to use setup menu. And while comparing the remotes between the PT-100 and the MC-700, it's easy to see that beyond the high-quality stereo 2-channel music listening, it's also designed heavily for use with video processing and switching involved, with a high emphasis on the HDMI switching capability this time. Inputs can be changed with a simple switch of the front button here, toggling between the different HDMI inputs, as well as accessing audio return channels, Bluetooth, analog inputs, as well as optical, digital coax. But just briefly comparing both of Emotiva's BasX preamplifiers, the PT-100 and the MC-700 are drastically different from each other in a sense of, one is designed for primarily 2-channel music playback, and, the other is designed for primarily home theater function and utility. So simply taking a look at the back panels here, you'll notice that there is no phono ground anywhere on the MC-700, which indicating that there is no phono preamplifier built in on board, ready to hook up a turntable. So an external phono preamp is most likely going to be something you'll need if you're planning on hooking up a turntable to the MC-700 right away, which is why they went ahead and left a grounding port off of the MC-700 altogether. Now, one of the other things I'd like to point out between the MC-700 and the PT-100 is the FM tuner and, the port for FM antenna, obviously. The MC-700 simply does not have an FM tuner, nor does it have a port for connecting an FM antenna in any way. And last but not least, surprisingly, the PT-100 preamp actually does include 2 left and right RCA hookups for a subwoofer, which actually are summed between the two. And, the MC-700 actually provides a full XLR balanced subwoofer output. But comparing apples to oranges here, the MC-700 is built just like all of the other BasX equipment from Emotiva. So in a nutshell, the MC-700 is essentially a high-performance stereo preamplifier, but in addition to that, it's also video switching and 4K high dynamic range pass-through for video processing as well in a home theater. But to simplify things just slightly, a lot of the AV receivers out there on the market, especially the cheaper ones, have had some issues with the HDMI video switching, especially when it comes to the 4K high dynamic range HDCP 2.2 handshake problems that occur quite often. But the MC-700 is supposed to eliminate some of those issues with precision high-speed video switches that actually route video directly from the selected input to the output without any extraneous processing, while ensuring that you'll continue to get the best possible picture quality from your HD and 4K Ultra HD video sources, guys. So essentially what I'm saying is, on our Marantz, especially the slimline receiver, oftentimes when switching the inputs between, say, HDMI 1 and our Roku player versus TV audio, a lot of times we'll end up getting a black screen, paused, or even have to end up restarting the whole unit altogether. But in addition to the PT100, the MC700 also allows you to configure and operating it either using the large blue bright VFD display on the front or a clear concise on-screen display with the MC700 as opposed to the PT100. In fact, Emotiva claims exceptional video quality with super fast error-free switching for up to the 6 HDMI inputs, and 3 of which support the full 4K Ultra HD HDR video.
What are some of the highlights on this?
So in addition to the superb sound quality delivered by enhanced surround sound decoders and highly optimized analog audio circuitry, it's got support for all the current 5.1 and 7.1 channel surround sound formats from Dolby and, well, DTS. So even in addition to the high-quality headphone amps for private listening, I personally find the size of the unit extremely efficient in a sense of all the video and audio processing is performed by, well, such a small and light chassis. With convenient control options and including a full-function infrared remote control, Emotiva calls this their last video memory function, which allows you to view one source while listening to another with the MC700. In addition to Video on Standby feature, which essentially passes through video and audio when the MC700 is in standby mode, but also what Emotiva calls a flexible quadruple bass management with 12 dB or 24 dB per octave crossover filters, configurable in precise 5 Hz steps below 80 Hz and, well, 10 Hz steps above 80 Hz, which helps to get better bass performance from virtually any room and subwoofer combination. But in addition to that, there's also an 11 user programmable, fully parametric equalizers per channel, providing exceptional manual control over room acoustics, also providing storage for 3 separate configurations as well. The MC700 is also compatible with their optional Bluetooth aptX module as well. Also balanced and unbalanced subwoofer outputs, providing additional options for long cable runs or multiple subwoofers. Also high efficiency, low noise, universal voltage switch mode power supply included. Also firmware updates are able to be carried out using a USB stick and no computer required connection. And just like all other Emotiva BasX equipment, a full 3-year warranty with a 30-day return policy and processor upgrade program. But rest assured, all Emotiva BasX equipment are simply dedicated to the philosophy that high-quality products that deliver true audiophile sound quality do not need to be expensive to buy or complicated to configure. And well, the MC700 is said to deliver truly stellar audio and video performance at down-to-earth prices. But with its large, bright, and easy-to-read vacuum fluorescent display, both the information on the front panel and the on-screen display can be completely configured to your needs. Well, that's going to wrap up this video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing of the BasX Emotiva MC-700 preamp surround processor. I'll have a full rundown and review video coming soon shortly.